When recording a guitar,
Yep.
how much of an influence does the actual physical pick make?
It's weird that you asked that. I just ordered like 8 different kinds of picks off of Amazon last week. So to me, as a player, like when I'm playing, I will choose a pick based off of
Pick a pick.
I'll pick a pick based off of kind of either the part that I'm playing or the sound. I've got a metal pick that I use,
Like an actual like metal pick.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's metal.
I've got a metal pick that I actually use when I'm doing clean parts.
Ooh.
And it has a very distinct attack to it.
Okay.
For me, when I'm working with an artist, sometimes like throwing that wrench in the system is not a good thing.
Sure.
Because I know when I'm playing, and I'm not the best guitar player, but if I'm playing something that's a little difficult or challenging, I don't even care what the pick sounds like. I'm going to go with the pick that feels the best, that I'm the most comfortable with. And there are certain ones that I've played with since I was a kid, so I'll be like, okay, I'm just going to that one because I just need to nail this part.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about the sound. But if it's something that you're going for and it's something easy, yeah, you can throw in a different pick.
Do you have maybe like a general rule of thumb for our viewers that might not know the difference between like a super thin pick and how that might react differently than a super thick pick? What kind of like in your mind when you hear a riff that's like fast, like super thrashy and really articulate, what weight of a pick might you reach for, a thinner or thicker?
Depends on if they're just doing like something like this where it's kind of a metal thing where you're bouncing off the low string a lot. I'd go with something that's got some resistance.
Okay.
Personally, and again, it's personal preference.
Right.
But yeah, I'll go for that. A lot of the times when I run into tuning issues, if somebody's hitting it too hard, the first and everyone's like, we can't get this in tune. They're just really digging in. It sounds cool, but the tuning's weird. Sometimes I'll ask, like, hey, what size, what thickness pick you're using? Oh, I'm using a 2 mil, and it's like, okay, you're using a credit card, okay,
yeah.
And we'll try something a little thinner, but there needs to be enough resistance to where you can get your timing.
Sure.
One of the kind of a production thing that I like to do in a lot of songs is on the downbeats of songs, like we were talking about the other day, diamonds, doing big diamonds. With those where you're raking across the strings, I like the sound of a thinner pick.
Sure.
So you can really kind of rake it slowly, and the pick's going across all the strings nicely. You do that with a hard pick, it's go, it's a different sound. So that I'll use a light pick for. Even the material of the picks. So like you can get nylon picks, I prefer for acoustic guitars, like a medium or light nylon pick for acoustic guitars where you're doing jangly stuff.
Yeah.
You're doing picking stuff, you might want to, again, go with something a little more resistance. One of my favorite picks, and I can't remember who introduced me to this, one of my favorite picks sonically is a pick from Jim Dunlop called an Altex.
Altex?
Altex.
Okay.
So they've got their Tortex, which...
My favorite, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, so many people use the Tortex. And
The iconic pick. You think of a pick, it's likely going to be a Tortex.
It's the green 88 mil
Sure.
Tortex,
Yep.
and that's kind of like what I'd probably say 75% of all like the metal and rock players use. It sounds great, feels great, doesn't slip out of your fingers. Somebody introduced me to the Altex pick, and he was a pick guy, and he used to carry around a little thing of picks with him all the time. And he used to take the picks. Can I borrow a pick from somebody? You got a pick? And he used to drop them on the desk. Brian, pass me your jazz pick.
It's on the...
Where is it? I don't see one over here.
Oh, sorry.
So you used to just drop them on the table, and you can hear the tone difference.
Oh, wow.
Right? You're probably not
I'm
gonna be
sure.
able to
I'm
hear
sure
that.
the viewers can't hear this, but
Let me get. So this one's kind of got more of a plasticky.
yeah, it's like darker, thicker, and that one's kind of like brighter. Almost.
So here's a Tortex,
okay.
and this is a Dunlop jazz pick. So
That's cool.
if Brian's used to playing with that, I'm probably not going to suggest on a difficult song with a lot of picking that he'd play with this.
Sure.
That's a little bit of a difference.
Could you maybe show the difference to that camera over there?
I mean, it's a little bit of a difference. I mean, one of them is almost twice the size of the other one. This one is much firmer. It's not that it's so much thicker. I mean, it is a little bit thicker, but it's definitely firmer and even the shape as well. Like I hate sharp, pointy picks. I hate them. I sometimes would take picks and I'll rub them on a carpet really quickly and it just rounds off the,
Oh, sure.
the
We
pointy
had
end.
someone in the chat saying, playing with the rounded edges softens the attack too.
Yeah, it can. And for me, it's a feel thing and more than a sound thing. But yeah, and also I tend to, I don't pick flat on. I kind of pick at an angle, so it helps me not kind of get stuck. I'm not the best guitar player, so I might not be giving the best advice, but.
Sure, I mean, it still holds weight.
Yeah, it's more personal preference than anything, unless you're doing something where you're going, like the metal pick. I don't use a metal pick all the time. It's when I'm going for something. It's got a very distinct attack.